Good morning, and welcome to the Deal Room Live, the daily real estate deal tank powered by Titan Impact Group, a global leader in AI-driven real estate investing and funding, where the real estate world meets speed, precision, and profit. And bring us your deal so we can put it into our AI model that analyzes and structures real estate deals in minutes, generates all the docs you need to get the deal done, and gives you a verified, unbiased breakdown of due diligence report. The investors get the advantage of getting fully vetted AI-analyzed deals that cut their due diligence time down by 60%. So you're in the right place. Let's open the deal room now and get into today's opportunity.
Problem resolved thanks to the great Lady Catherine. Freaking nightmare.
There we go. Welcome, everyone. Glad you're here. Super excited about webinar number 4 of 7, which leads into our 3-day event coming in May 19th, 20th, and 21st, about creating multiple streams of passive income for your families and all the things that includes. So today we have the incredible Trevor Hicks and extraordinary Tommy D, who are going to be doing the presentation for us today about one of the coolest things ever, and that's our AI with DealHunter. So without further ado, I don't know which one of you is going to be sharing the slides, but take it away.
I am trying to get the pictures up here right now.
So Trevor's got it ready to go if you want.
If you want to roll it, Trevor, I'll pull it up on my end so that way I can at least keep up with you. But
let me see if I can. I don't know if I can do the slides and the portion at the same time.
Here we go. Hold on. I got it. I just needed a minute to catch it.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Oh, I got to figure out which one it is. I think it's this one. Yeah. That's the one right there. Dang it. We want it to be bigger. There we go. So we'll start it out right there. Trevor, you got some.
You're not sharing the slides.
All I see is your Zoom. You got to go to a different tab.
Yeah, it's the other one. Hold on. There we go.
There you go. Perfect.
Awesome.
So we're going to jump in and talk all about the execution engine, which is obviously DealHunter. So DealHunter is the AI that is the power behind the LandSharkMastermind. So we're going to be talking all about that today and show you kind of how we do live deal flow and execution.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit of history about DealHunter and the direction it came from. The LandSharkMastermind itself came out of 3 guys, myself, Roman Rubio, and Dr. Ning-Young Chan. All were working together on trying to get into real estate deals, and all of us had like real jobs, if you will, right? Dr. Ning-Young Chan was actually working in real estate on trying to be a realtor, but he couldn't really get into developing. He couldn't do anything but work for people looking for houses, right? And then I'm a developer, but I'm not connected. You know, I'm not a realtor. I can build houses, but I can't really sell them like a realtor. And then I got Roman Rubio, who Roman Rubio was. He's a teacher. He's in the community. Like he's got connection to people all over the place. What we would call customers. Right. And with that strong triangle of people, we created the LandSharkMastermind behind the fact that the 3 of us could come together and accomplish more together as a group than we could, singularly in what we were doing. So, but yeah, the summits the LandSharkMastermind is built around having community and building wealth and doing so with people. We really believe that with people being together that we can get a lot accomplished. I hit the next button and it shrunk everything back up again.
I think this is the next step.
Oh, this is the
Go that way, and then you just have to scroll. There you go.
There we go.
There we are. So in the previous webinars, you guys have seen and we've explored how investment funds work, like Titan 23, and how they're structured, how capital's deployed. Today, we're going to be moving more from theory into execution. So kind of like what Tommy just explained, how the LandSharkMastermind was founded, but also a little bit more about what DealHunter really is. So this session is focused on how deals are actually found, and then how we analyze them in real time, and then how we structure them as well. And like Tommy mentioned again, community is a big part of that. We're going to walk you through all there is to do about LandSharkMastermind and introduce you to DealHunter and how that system really supports the process and jumps into the execution of how we look at whether a deal is actually fundable.
Yeah, and basically with how the three of us got together, we started adding to that other people that have expertise. Catherine Bell was the driving force behind becoming our sponsor. And sometime here in June, it'll be 1 year that Catherine and Titan Impact Group has been a sponsor of the LandShark Mastermind podcast, where we meet up every day to run deals. So
Awesome. So we're going to kind of, like you can see the title of the slide there, we're going to lift up the curtain on the black box of deal making, how we really source, analyze, and structure those deals, and start to get into some of the gaps of really what most investors are missing when they're analyzing these deals. So, Tommy, do you want to share a little bit more about this the engine itself?
yeah, so when it goes back to when Trevor actually first listened to a bit about the DealHunter podcast. Trevor's introduction to LandShark Mastermind was through the DealHunter podcast. And Trevor was sitting back listening to how we were coming into information that would take sometimes days, if not weeks, just off of a simple simple address of a property and a 3-word prompt to execute a pretty substantial due diligence report about a piece of property. And so that exposing that without charging people $50,000 or $100,000 to build out something that saves anywhere between 30 and 300 hours per deal. The hours are what most of the time people don't value. So we that was Trevor's introduction to all this. So and we do that on a podcast. So when you're able to save time on deals, you can spend a little bit more money, or you can get rid of the ones that are horrible and not get stuck getting into bad deals, right?
I think that was the biggest filter for me right off the bat. And I think this next slide is perfect to kind of lead into that. Is I was skeptical. I mean, I'm not going to call it a kid, but I'm not, you know, elderly. So I was always skeptical about using AI. But the more I got into it, the more I was using ChatGPT. So I was already familiar with it. But this slide is perfect because I don't consider myself a solo investor, but a lot of the underwriting I did do solo. And I think the biggest thing for me was saving time right off the bat to know whether it was worth digging in deeper or whether it was a dud and I should just throw it away and I should just go straight into the next deal. So it kind of really helped me filter through some of that chaos, that spaghetti model like you're seeing here, because a lot of people really understand real estate, that it can build wealth, but very few people really understand how to consistently find good deals. And I pride myself on trying to get better at that. Not saying I'm great at it, but trying to get better at that. And Deal Hunter and the AI behind it really, really, really helped me jump the line. And I'm always looking, again, we're always looking for a shortcut, but really not only the shortcut, but then it does such a great job of explaining the reasoning behind why it either isn't a deal, why it might be a deal, what needs to be true for it to be a deal, or why it already is. So a lot of people really rely on outdated strategies or one-off opportunities or having that perfect connection, but there's no repeatable system. There's real no repeatable SOP. And that's what Deal Hunter allowed me to do. Because this is the first place I go when I'm running a deal.
Yeah, and to your point, Trevor, at the picture here is the big explainer in that when you're doing it by yourself, you're relying on so many different things to guide your path. And what Deal Hunter was able to do by combining Dr. Ning Young Chan's ability to be a realtor and the rules and the knowledge base of a realtor, the rules and knowledge base of a developer, and the rules and knowledge base, or combining those with the understanding and knowing KYC, know your client, we were able to punch through multiple client avatars to show that the system is pretty SRA, same rules apply, right? Product, service, client, and get them together, right? And so this slide is a prime example of how being a solopreneur can create that. What Deal Hunter does is it allows for there to be a system that otherwise you have so many variables that you need some sort of direction. We call it kind of like an algorithm, if you will. So tell us more about how when you're analyzing deals from before, what does Deal Hunter do for you in that regard? How does Deal Hunter, and again, we're talking about the LandShark Mastermind, which is again the Deal Hunter is kind of the power behind it, because the mastermind is each individual person that we run deals with, right?
Yeah, I will say that not only the AI behind it, but I think you led this earlier too, was the community behind it too. There's other investors in the room, in that daily deal room, that we're able to bounce ideas off of and get other people's experience. Because a lot of these deals I would look at or get sent my way before were just outside of my realm of comfort. Now I bring them to you, and you have vastly more experience than I do, or other people in the room do as well. So not only that, but then we're able to plug them into this AI power technology and get almost instantaneous feedback here within a few minutes. And it allows me to kind of get unstuck and really just kind of push that through, like this funnel you see there. You can kind of push it from the top of the funnel to the bottom rather quickly with that data that you're gathering from the AI.
Yeah, exactly. And so the what the deal room does is provide the community and the space to learn while you earn. Okay. Like
Yep.
that's what to me, that's what we're trying to create. That's what Roman and Ning Young and I got together to do here was when Titan Impact Group sponsored the podcast, it was all right, now how can we give value back to all these people coming in and helping us build out Deal Hunter AI, right? Like, because that's the thing, the conversations and the amount of people using it is what makes it better, right? So, because real estate can be tricky, but when you have something that allows you to just calculate it faster, quicker, better, not saying provide advice, but if you can get answers faster, quicker, better, that's a good thing. Both of us, Trevor and I, a little side note, we both have a history of being in healthcare. And so we can both attest to how important time is in all situations. There isn't a time in healthcare that I thought, well, 10,000 or $1 million or something would make something different in healthcare. It always came back to the clock. And
Yep.
so Deal Hunter provides you the value it provides you is more on the clock than it is on the capital. And so
100%.
just putting that forward, that's how we understand the value is what it is in time. So
100%. I couldn't have said that better. The value of time, really buying back that time again, knowing whether it's a deal quicker, faster, better, it just, yeah, there's no substitute for it that I've found, that's for sure. So, all right. So we're going to get into a little bit more of what the Landshark Mastermind is. And we talked about that collaborative deal flow. It's not just Deal Hunter and the AI that's powered behind it, but it's the community of investors that are getting together and collaborating in that deal room environment. Real opportunities are brought in every day. Everybody knows, bring your opportunities to the deal room. We'll run it live on Deal Shark, excuse me, on Deal Hunter, and we'll analyze them live there. So not only are you bringing them in, you're analyzing them, and then we're discussing them live. So you're seeing the breakdown, but then we're having intelligent conversation with other, savvy investors to then grow our knowledge base and grow all along together, because grow community together. So designed to kind of give not only participants visibility for your deal, but also how deals are evaluated, how the risks are assessed, and how decisions are made. So rather than learning in isolation, which is boring, you're learning in a context of real opportunities with real people and real investors.
yeah, and to that point, Trevor, what it also does is we're able to also do things like we have what we call superpowers. We all have a superpower, and we want to share our superpower with our other superpower friends, right? Like Spider-Man needs Iceman to put out the fireman, So and we all have that superpower, and so one of the things that we've been able to do inside of that community is, like, for example, make those tough phone calls, like reaching out to once we do the analysis and we discover the deal, because that's really the bigger part of the problem is discovering the deal and making sure it is actually a deal, right? And this is kind of where it says right here is that, where ideas face reality. Once we've been able to say, yeah, this is going to be a deal, we then do the other stuff like picking up the phone call, picking up the phone, making the phone call to the broker, to the seller, right? And having creative conversations and trying to make some things happen. The beautiful part about Deal Hunter is that because I know that that's a concern, that we knew that when we were developing Deal Hunter, we put into Deal Hunter that one of the 5 things that it suggests, it makes suggestions after every single prompt. It'll say, would you like me to put together a script of how to talk to the seller or the broker about this property? And so it's been programmed into it to put that confidence builder in there for you, that all you got to do is pick up the phone and read from the computer, right? So technology is very helpful in helping you grow outside of your. I hate when people are like AI is going to replace people. No, it's only going to replace the people that won't do what it's suggesting you do. Like pick up the phone and call. I'll give you all the words, right? So, but go into this slide for me a little bit, Trevor, on how going through the live underwriting all the way over to the risk assessment and bankable documents and stuff like that. What have you found to be the most beneficial for you and your business when you're talking about the houses you're doing?
Yeah, I think just other live participants in the room, because as we all know, we get in our own way sometimes, or we get into certain biases when we're looking at a deal or an area. Now the AI is able to analyze it in a very non-biased way, but then you also have other investors in the room that are able to give you feedback. So that live session breakdown, you're discussing it again, like I mentioned, with other investors, other operators, but then you're actively making the call. You're actively doing the thing. It's not just like, okay, now I've broken down the deal, maybe I'll call, you get cold feet. You're there, you're getting support from the rest of the community. So that live daily deal room is something that's vastly beneficial, I would say. So yeah, that's what it's done a lot for me. It's just kind of forced me to already take some action though too.
Right. And again, I think this slide then kind of puts that into context, because with Deal Hunter, you're able to get real time analysis on pro forma or even on current numbers. Like if you've got a commercial property, I focus in commercial, but if I can get the documents, the P&Ls and the financials off of a commercial property, I can have those analyzed within seconds. Whereas other times I'd have to take all that documentation, send it to a CPA. CPA gets paid to analyze it, bring it back, tell me, yes, this is all the information, so that I can come up with these 4 project numbers right here. That I would have a $1.2 million net operating income, that I could believe that the cap rate value is going to be at 5.8%, that the potential appreciations of a plus 12 month, and that I've got a debt service coverage ratio here of a 1.45 for my DSCR loan. I can get those numbers right there within seconds using Deal Hunter, right? And so what that does is, again, allows me, the opportunity to go out and execute faster, because by the time I wait for that CPA to return with what I need, that deal's gone, right? That
Yep.
deal's gone.
Deals up speed.
Absolutely. So the way that we look at the AI is that there's a brain behind it that requires a human touch.
Yep.
Right. So and Trevor, speak to that when we talk about, like, what are some of the things outside of just analyzing deals that you've used Deal Hunter for?
Yeah, I will say biggest thing is it's a tool, right? We say it's a brain, but it requires that human touch. And I like the way you put that, because by itself, it still can't take the action, it still can't do the thing for you, at least not yet. But it's a tool that allows me not only to analyze deals, but even something I was running on there today was a search tool for finding businesses. That's one of my things this year that I really want to accomplish, is to acquire my first business. And I gave it some parameters and feedback, and it ran a search within my local area based on the prompt that I gave it. And it started me down this pathway of having a conversation with it and helping me find possible acquisitions. So that's other than just a real estate deal. So there's some other ways, but it doesn't replace the human side, but it takes a lot of the bias that and I think I said that earlier, but it takes a lot of the bias out, which for me is important because I let my emotions and my bias get into a lot of these sometimes.
Yeah.
And this helps
Well,
to eliminate.
where did you discover that?
Where did I discover it? In
Would
this
it have been,
process?
was there an AI tool that helped you discover how you think as an investor?
Yeah, there was. That's really interesting that you say that, Tommy, because I did an investor survey. It's a long, I can't remember the name of the people that gave it to me, but that's escaping me. It'll come back to me. And then it actually allowed me to kind of break down what kind of an investor I was. And really a lot of that is thought and impact behind some of what I'm doing, but creativity to make a deal structure work. So
So the Landshark Mastermind actually has what's called the
oh,
Landshark Survey.
that's right. That's where I got that.
He's pretty, people. He's so pretty. And his wife will vouch for that. But no, Landshark Mastermind actually developed the Landshark Investor Survey, and we supply what it does is DealHunter has done so much communicating about deals that now I rely on it to help analyze individuals' mindsets, and we do that with a variety of testing and surveying modalities. It's a way of asking questions and getting a deeper insight without more of a natural answer. And so we do that through a survey that supplies us with an ability to bring back to people not only the way they think, but a 90-day blueprint, a 90-day blueprint, and a 12-month business plan on how to work through being an investor in real estate. So, but anyway, this slide kind of just touches on some of the things that it does um, outside of the humanness part of it. We get to be a human about it. We get to build a relationship. We get to have the emotion, and what we do is we remove all of the things that guide that. And used to guide it because it was like you had to make a quick decision. You just went off of a gut feeling. Right now, what it does, it takes raw data, identifies all the critical parts, and then guides it into a very easy to understand and see thing that even myself can understand. I should have said me self. Show you how
Me.
smart. Oh,
No, and this one's good because it talks about the combination of not only the human experience, which you can't get rid of, and that's what makes us us, right? The experience behind it, but then it also combines the power of the AI to make it more powerful and a more powerful decision making. So you use your experience, but you extract all the emotion and the bias from previous, but still keep that knowledge, that knowledge bank that we've used before, but also the human intuition. It says it right there. That's the beauty of bringing those investor patterns into all of this, not only pattern recognition, real world knowledge, then the AI brings the speed, the processing, and the consistency all together. So you put all that together and it makes one crazy powered investor tool.
yeah, this diagram explains it perfectly. Like underwriting and risk management and modeling and scalability, these are the things that make you money and make you successful in real estate. And so in a traditional solo investor world, or even just because when it's solo investor, that means you're trying to find all the people to help you get the answers. When you go to a big commercial development firm or commercial real estate firm, there's literally a person for every single thing, and they have a team of people underneath that. So there'll be anywhere between 14 and 15 people on a big commercial deal, all seeking answers and doing research. So that the entire thing can be put together to figure it out. Because
Yep.
I already knew all of this, I created these micro nucleuses and agents inside of the the Landshark Deal Hunter AI. And what it did was it cut the underwriting down by 90%.
Yep.
It increased risk identification by 50 to 70%. It made modeling time, speed up by 30 to 40% with the way that it makes spreadsheets and stuff. Oh my God, it's insane. And then the scalability of it is how fast we can take and go through deals. I've never analyzed this many deals. As many deals we do a month as how many I used to do a year.
Oh yeah, easily.
Literally, 10x my deal flow.
So this one kind of starts talking about how the deals actually flow through the system. So a typical deal will enter our ecosystem, the Landshark ecosystem, through sourcing channels such as brokers, relationships, or direct outreach. Again, the other investors in the Landshark Mastermind will bring those opportunities into the daily deal room. And then once we introduce them and we talk about it a little bit, the deal's reviewed in the deal room. We put it into DealHunter, and then we gather any key information, any assumptions. They're all tested. We look at the risks. We identify those risks. We talk about them together as a team, and then kind of let DealHunter literally run the deal. The AI really supports the process by organizing and analyzing the data in real time. We talked about that. There's your three different sources of how they can come in. And then we organize and analyze those data in real time, like I mentioned. From there, the group really then discusses whether the opportunity is worth pursuing. And if it's worth pursuing, okay, what are our next steps? What other data, what other information do we have to get prior to either agent outreach or broker outreach or things like that too?
Yeah, the big thing though is the discard, move on. Like we
Yeah.
do quite a bit of that on a regular basis. So what we're able to do within the group setting on AI now is exponential because of the fact that like here's an example of eliminating the blind spots while we scale at enterprise levels is that as a solo investor, there's 19 pieces of touch to get through a deal. Landshark Group, we're able to touch all 19 pieces with about 4 people and get through it really quick to get us to the other side of sign it or don't, right? So part of the way we do that is like through this ecosystem, the Titan ecosystem that we have. You know, we talked about the Titan Impact Group. This is the parent company of all things. It's the sponsor to the Landshark Mastermind and the Landshark podcast deal room. So we talked about the Titan 23 fund. That's how Catherine and the Titan Impact Group raises capital. It's more or less the fuel, the oxygen, as you will, as Catherine likes to call it. But in order to get there, we call this part, with the Landshark Mastermind, we call that the brain. Like when mastermind is about people from different backgrounds, different opinions, different thoughts coming together to solve the problems of the world. Like the first mastermind that I'm aware of ever occurring was called a brain trust, put together by Andrew Carnegie, and he got J.P. Morgan and Rockefeller and Vanderbilt and all the people together and said, okay, we got to figure out how we're going to avoid destroying our empires while taking care of the world. And he really said, okay, I know none of us agree on anything, but let's figure out how to agree on about 5 basic things and fix situations for people. So that to us is the heart. That's where Wealth-Wise Women come in. That seminar was that webinar was this past Tuesday. Catherine and Tracy and Amor did a great job on that one. And then the webinar series that we're heading into from here forward is going to be talking about all the other things that are within our ecosystem. So make sure you go and register for those and check those out. But the final thing is going to be us doing a 3-day virtual summit that you can sign up for. It is free to watch, but we are charging to participate and come up and talk with the coaches and ask questions. And we got a lot going on for that 3-day period. 12 hours of gem dropping valuable information about private equity for regular people. Like you can get into private equity as a regular person now. Most people don't know that. And we're going to be talking about 7 streams of passive income. We're going to be talking about tax strategies, how to keep $1 trillion out of the government's hands. So we'll be talking about all that. So back to the Landshark Mastermind. Trevor, tell them about how why this is repeatable then.
I mean, it's repeatable and scalable because of the ease of access of actually getting in there and underwriting a deal, not just waiting for the daily deal room. But like you mentioned before, that time piece is really what makes it repeatable, because then I can come with another deal and another deal and another deal. Whereas I might have sat and mulled over a deal 2 or 3 days because I didn't have the right information. The Landshark AI actually plugs into a lot of those other sources and helps source a lot of that material and that information that I was maybe lacking or missing or would spend hours and hours searching for or waiting for a call back from a broker or things like that. It talks you through the entire capital stack, whether it's financeable through a bank or whether you need more creative terms and things like that. So those are the biggest pieces of why I would say it's so repeatable and so easy to kind of scale with.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the big thing before we kind of wrap up and take some questions, the big thing is that this is basically same rules apply software that you can plug in on any deal every time. There's some other components to it, like free estimates, and then the Landshark Investor Survey that, we definitely want people to reach out and get more information on. But we encourage people to come to the webinar that we have every day, 9 to 10 a.m. Arizona time. For us right now, that's East Coast. So, or I mean Pacific time. But moving forward, it says webinar 4 is going to be the Worldwise Women, but we already had that one. So I'm trying to scramble and discover what the actual.
I think the next one's the legacy play, building wealth.
Yes, on May 5th, we're going to be actually talking about the legacy program that Catherine operates in. It's a nonprofit about nonprofits. So if anyone has an interest in nonprofits, it's important to show up for that because Catherine will explain the why, right? We call this the soul of the Titan Impact Group is what makes this a God-given thing is Catherine's dedication to getting 120,000 children adopted before their 18th birthday. That live in the foster care system. We've had some really amazing God-given conversations over the last couple of days with people who can possibly make that happen with us. So we'll get back to that more. But yes, next podcast next Tuesday, 9 a.m. May 5th, it'll be all about the legacy play chosen forever, how building wealth that outlives you is the goal. It should be your why. So come back for that. But if you didn't catch the Wise Women this past Tuesday, you can definitely come back and check it out. And then finally, making sure that everyone goes to the LandSharkMastermind.com website /7-streams and sign up for the Wealth Summit and get signed up for at least register for it, but also get signed up to be a participant. And come on and learn things, ask questions, be involved in trying to understand what you can do to change your life in any of the positions you're in right now. So private equity, 7 streams of income, or opportunity zone tax planning. That's what we're all about helping people get. So right now we're open to taking some questions for a little bit. We got about 15 minutes left to the time. So open the floor to anyone open to asking questions.
So one of the things I did, Tommy, was in the chat for everybody, I put the link to the daily webinar that podcast that the live deal room that everybody's welcome to join every day at 9 a.m. Arizona time. And I also actually put the DealHunter custom GPT in there along with the investor survey. So again, we invite everybody to consider playing with those and then coming and joining us and allowing us to walk alongside of you to be able to add more commas into your bank account so you can go make a difference in the world.
Yeah, so I actually opened up my GPT here, and this is the Landshark Investor Survey, and it basically is a 125 question survey asking questions about your habits, your thoughts, and your feelings as it relates to real estate. We also have the DealHunter by Landshark. This is the AI model that we demo and use to help find, source, and deliver deliver bank quality due diligence and underwriting to understand how to get through properties, deals, etc. So we use another tool like what's called free estimates inside of that to help us with buy and hold, to help us with doing fix and flips. We're able to get information from local sources wherever we're at that time. Because what if I'm trying to fix and flip a house in Iowa, and I was trying to say Iowa and Ohio at the same time. If I'm trying to fix and flip a house in Iowa, I'm thinking that the labor, it might be a little bit different than the cost of labor is going to be different there than it's here in Phoenix, Arizona. So free estimates helps me kind of get a better, idea of what that's going to cost. And it's also going to help me find locally sourced products. If I'm not from the area, I say, give me an estimate from this area with the zip code. I'm doing a fix and flip there. It's going to provide me with where I can go buy doors, trim, windows, paint, etc., because I provided it with the zip code. So, pretty cool tool to use for real estate investors. So, because again, if you don't know what your numbers are, how do you know what you're going to do? You know, so
Right. The other thing I'd like to add, just going back for a second around the investor survey, like where that came from was, and Tommy came up with this idea, is because when I share my story, it took me like 20 years of investing and literally doing all the different asset classes of investing to discover that I like two things. I like to be the bank and rent dirt. So Keith Cunningham in his book, The Road Less Stupid, he says that we don't need to be making more better decisions. We need to be making less stupid decisions. And so by doing that, like really thinking through the things, the investor survey literally helps you make less stupid decisions and cut straight to it rather than taking the long hard road path that I did for 20 years and helping you actually get really clear on your style of investing and hopefully help easing the pain that I went through so that you can add more commas sooner to your bank account. So that was the whole purpose of that. Does anyone else see the email?
well, I want to thank Trevor for joining us here. Trevor is a member of the LandShark Mastermind and has been learning as he's earning, and
Right?
it's amazing because Trevor, what do you think? And just this is maybe a gift of testimony. Do you think you'd be searching for a business to buy right now if you didn't have the confidence that you have in using this tool here, the Landshark Mastermind? Do you think you'd be in a position like that had you not at least had a tool? Forget being a part of the community. Just you were given a tool that kind of gave you an insight that you didn't have before. Do you feel like you would be searching for a business to buy right by now?
I might still be searching for a business, but I might be doing it with a different confidence level. And you could say I would be perusing and not really confident with the underwriting of it, because it's definitely still something I know how to underwrite some real estate. But when it comes to underwriting a business, not nearly as confident. So I can say it's been a huge, huge lift up, and it's helped me kind of jump forward and go forward with some confidence. Let's put it that way.
Well, you did a wonderful job being part of the Pace Morby community, giving us a chance to be a part of your community, and you've introduced us to a lot of people at the PMC, as I like to call it. So we appreciate that. And so, if nobody's got any other questions, I've got a call to action to come out and start doing 60-second pitches to us. We've got real investors that watch this. We've got real investors that come in and are a part of the show. Catherine actually booked us with several of those people today that are going to be starting to come in and watching for deals because they want to invest in stuff that they can have a relationship with. People don't invest in the projects, they don't invest in the cap rates, they invest in the people that are going to do the deal. So we want to be that connector and we want to be that avenue for them. So we'll be having some really cool guests and have some really cool investor opportunities coming up over the next couple of weeks, if not couple of months. So I appreciate everyone coming in today. And again, big shout out and thank you to Catherine for her team at Titan Impact Group doing all the wonderful things.
Well, and a big shout out to you and Trevor for coming on and doing this. And we love that you all are a part of this incredible community. So
Yep.
thank you, everyone.
Absolutely.
All
Love
right.
it.
Thank
I'll
you.
be back. We'll be on tomorrow morning, tomorrow Friday, doing a deal room at 9 a.m. So make sure you head over to landsharkmastermind.com/webinar and you can sign up to it right from there.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have an extraordinary day, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.